All right, everybody, welcome to Pentheus, day 4. This is the last part of Pentheus, Pentheus's myth. This is where he actually physically got torn apart pretty violently by his mom. It's awesome. Super glad you guys chose this overtly violent myth. All right, so that one, remember, we're talking about his aunt who he just begged for help at the end of day 3. So that one did not know. And then quis actation is an indirect question. Right, that one did not know who Action was. You're missing a subjunctive form of to be in there. That's an indirect question. And she withdrew her right hand from the begging one. It's an ablative singular masculine present active participle. See that NT in there? Present active participle. And then we're going to change who we're talking about. So I'm going to change colors to remind you. Inno, we spell with one O in English, yeah. In a rage, like tore, cut, ripped off. I don't really love any of those. The other one, the other arm. I'm going to switch again because we're switching subjects. So the unlucky man, I'm getting man because it's masculine. So I'm just adding man in. The unlucky one, the unlucky man does not have arms which he might show to his mom. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. You'll notice tenda is a subjunctive verb. It's subjunctive in a relative clause, so it's a relative clause of characteristic. But this is a nominative modifying him again, showing his trunk, his the trunk of his body, not like a tree trunk, the trunk of his body. He's like torso, maybe, but showing his torso, wounded by his shorn limbs, wounded from his limbs having been torn off, says, and then what he says is in quotes. Look, mom. He's trying to get her attention. It's really sad. I'm just rushing through it because it's so too sad. I can't pause. Agave, that's mom's name. Howls. This is howl not like with grief. This is howl like a wolf. Yeah. At the things having been seen. That is a perfect passive participle in the neuter plural from video, videre, vidi, visus. So it's the fourth principal part in the ablative plural. So agave howls at the things seen, like at the sight. And she throws her necks. It's a poetic plural. She throws her neck. She basically does this. Oh, right, like a wolf would. Super glad that's on video forever. And she moved. It's perfect. Sorry. Moved her hair through the air. Right. I think she's running. Right. She sticks her neck up. She runs. She's having her hair is blowing behind her. Right. And this right here, complexa, is a perfect passive participle, but it's from a deponent verb. You can see it down here, so it sounds active. So having embraced, encircled, like lay hold of, having gripped his head, torn off. Having gripped his torn off head in her bloody fingers. Yikes! She shouts. Yo, companions. Remember, it's like, hey, companions. This work is our victory. So she has just decapitated her son and is calling it their victory. That's troublesome. That's real troublesome. Let me erase this for you really fast so we can actually read it. I don't know why it won't let me scroll with the annotate on. Sorry. All right. Now now we're going to jump into the simile. Remember, we've got that odd 4 lines in here, it's 3, 3 lines that are one giant simile comparing the leaves falling off of a tree in the autumn to his limbs. So if you can imagine like a tree in the autumn that has these leaves that are dead and falling off, the leaves are falling off slowly. And then she's saying, It wasn't any more quickly than that he got torn apart. So it's a slow process. It's not like it happened in an instant, right? This is a slow process for his limbs to come off. Gross. All right. The wind does not seize. I get not from up here. The wind does not seize the leaves. That's the main part of the sentence. Subject, verb, direct object. The wind does not seize the leaves. And then we've got a couple things modifying leaves. Having been touched by autumn cold. Clinging now, like wickedly, to the tall tree. So the wind does not seize the leaves, having been touched by autumn cold. And there's no really, it's like now clinging wickedly to the tall tree. And then the main part of this sentence is more quickly, Critias, more quickly than, that's the main portion of your sentence, right? The wind doesn't grab the leaves more quickly, Critias, than the limbs of, that was not what I wanted to do. I don't remember how to undo it. Right? There we go. The limbs of that man are, or were, sorry, ripped off. That's a temesis. It should be de repta sunt right next to each other. It's a perfect passive verb. So more quickly than the limbs of the man were ripped off by nefas hands, by blasphemous hands, wicked hands, cruel hands, horrible hands. Yeah. And then we are going to go back to, that's our simile. And then we're going to go back to quote unquote real life and talk about what came out of this incident. Having been warned by such examples, the Theban women, the women from Thebes, the place where this is happening, frequent, like throng to, go to, attend this new like religious rites, the new sacred things, the new religious rites. They give incenses, that's technically a poetic plural, and they worship the sacred altars. So it's saying because they learned from this example how important it is for them to worship Bacchus, because otherwise they'll rip their own child limb from limb, like he thinking he's a boar in this wild stupor. They need to encourage their family to go do this. So having been warned by such examples, the Theban women frequent the new religious rites, and they give incense, and they worship the sacred altars. All right, that's all. Good luck.